Hey guys, Pete here from 10 Spot Tools, and today we are checking out the Hydro Tail. The folks over at Hydro Tail were good enough to send me one of these things to try out, but you know us, just trying things out is not good enough for us. We had to make a case for it. So first we made these nice custom Hydro Tail latches, which are available if you decide to buy our Hydro Tail insert, which is available in pieces if you don't want the whole thing, and let me show you what I mean. So here we have our pack out case, a 5-compartment organizer. Okay, and this is our entire Hydro Tail setup inside. A couple really nice features of this insert that you're not going to find in most of our inserts. We put a lot of effort into this one. First of all, the first thing that struck me about the Hydro Tail, especially if you get the Hydro Tube with it, is that this thing's not going to be super easy to put away. So we designed an insert that would make this thing very easy to take out, very easy to put back, and just very easy to work with all around. So first right here we have this, and this actually flips up and rests in the case right there, and now you have a reel. Okay, so you can just detach this up here and then just pull off as much as you need. You still have the free end here that you could hook your hose up to. All right, so yeah, just pull out as much as you need, then hook your hose up. Okay, that's how the Hydro Tube part of the insert works. The Hydro Tail itself is right here, and this entire piece is removable. Okay, so you could take this out, you could wrap your Hydro Tail around it, and if you want, you could buy just this piece by itself. So for anybody that doesn't have the Hydro Tube, has the Hydro Tail, and just wants an easier way to put it away, we just have this that you could wrap it around. This fits in the case real nice, or you could just get it by itself. When you unwrap this, you will find that there are divots in this to accommodate the valve that comes on it, and there's also a spot in the bottom to accommodate the hose connection. Once you have the whole thing taken off, everything just pops right out, and then when you go to put it back in, you just put this in first, hose goes out the edge here, and then you could just wrap it back around. So it's a nice easy way to wrap everything up, and rather than have it so you have to like insert the tube into the case as you're wrapping it, we thought this would be a good idea because this is very easy to quickly wrap the entire thing around. As you can see, it takes less than a minute to get the whole thing wrapped up. Everything has its place. All right, and here we go. As we come around, the valve fits right back in there. This wraps around, and then when you have the flexible end that kind of stays the way you bend it, wrapping this around, once you have it done, will keep everything in place in a nice compact, easy to carry package. And then if you decide to get the entire insert, that whole piece slots right back into there. We also have storage spots in here for the Velcro that comes with the Hydro Tail. So the 2 smaller pieces fit here, the 2 larger pieces fit here, and this is your nice compact package for using your Hydro Tail, making it very easy to put it back away. This stuff is going to be available on the website. By the time I post this video, everything will be live, and you'll see all the different purchase options for whether you want to get the whole insert or just parts of it. Now let's take a look at actually using this thing in action. Alright guys, so now we're going to show you what it's like using the Hydro Tail insert in action. We have our case right here over at the hose bib where you need it. So we're going to open her up. Alright, first thing we're going to do is fold up the dispenser for the Hydro Tube. Okay, we have it on the dispenser here. We're just going to take this, and now we're going to, before we connect it, we're going to pull the end of this tubing. So we're just going to pop it out of the clip here, and we're going to pull it over to where we need it. And as I pull it over, you're going to see how nice and easy it reels. So there you go. It pulled off the reel beautifully, and we've only dispensed what we need. So this way you don't have to cut down your 100-foot reel, right? So how often do you need the full 100 feet? Probably almost never, but for when you do need it, you don't want to have to cut this. So this way we're only dispensing what we need quickly and easily. It's very easy to put it away quickly, and we haven't had to cut our tube at all. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the Hydro Tail off of its dispenser. This just pulls off easy like that. Okay, now at the end of this, they include a connection for a sink. Okay, we're going to pop out the sink connection since we're using a hose bib. We're going to connect this to the hose bib. Okay, and then we have our extra connector that's included with the Hydro Tube, and we're going to connect that over here. We take this off of the hydro tail at the valve, connect that directly to the reel. Okay, and now we have our hose hooked up all the way to the end of the reel, and we're going to take it back over to the table, see what the last connection is like, and then see how well this thing works. All right, guys, so now we're back at our work table. We have our hydro tube here. The other end is already connected to the hose bib. We've got our hydro tail here, fresh off its holder. This still has the quick connect valve attached to it, so we're just going to pop this in. The valve is already in the off position, so we're good there. And now we just have to get this thing attached to the grinder. So I'm going to unroll it. Now they include 4 straps. So there's these 2 small ones. I found for this particular tool, using the 2 larger ones works better. But you can mix and match those depending on the tool that you're putting them on. I feel like I want this to go kind of something like this. All right, so we're going to get our first strap on over here towards the wheel of the grinder. Loop that through and pull it tight. And there you go, nice and snug. And now I found for the second one, actually going around the battery works really well, and having the second strap at an angle to the first strap helps keep things in place a little better. So we're going to feed this under right here. All right, through the hole. Okay, back over, and there you go, nice and tight again. All right, so now we're pretty firmly attached to here. We can adjust our hydro tail so it's pointing right at where it's going to need to be. All right, so now we're set up with the hydro tail on the grinder. We've got our brick here. Now I'm just going to go turn the water on. We're going to see how this thing cuts. All right, guys, so here we are with the hydro tail all hooked up. Just going to turn on my little quick connect valve right here. Then we're going to turn on the valve, the adjustable valve at the front. Get just a little bit of a fine mist coming out at first. Turn up a little bit more. I think that should be about enough for what we need. Let's see how it cuts. All right, not bad, guys. So you can see the hydro tail gives us a completely dust-free cut, and it allows us to control the amount of water we're using. So, you know, obviously there's water spraying out, but we're not just getting it everywhere like we would be if we used a full-on hose for this. Really nice setup, really like it. Check out the insert we make for it at 10spottools.com today, and you can pick up the hydro tail itself at hydrotail.com. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, so last but not least, we just want to show everybody how easy it is to put the hydro tail and the hydro tube away when you have this insert from our website, 10spottools.com. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to disconnect the hydro tube from the quick connect valve, and we're going to take the end that we have attached to the hydro tube. This is what was connected to our hose bib. We're going to disconnect this right here. We're going to wheel up the hydro tube, and this to me is the best part, right? We only pulled out as much as we need. We only have to wind back up as much as we need. So this goes pretty quick to get everything put away nice and neat. We had about 15-20 feet of hose pulled out. So just to reel that back up, I mean, I just don't think there's a better way. So we'll have this done in just a second. There we go. Okay, and then we're just going to snap the tube into one of the 2 clips that's on here. Lastly, we take off the quick connect. This is going to go back in here, and then we could just fold this back down, and there you go. It is away. Okay, then we're going to take the hydro tail. Okay, we have the piece that was attached to the hose. We're going to put this back together onto the quick connect. So now we have the intact hydro tail exactly as it comes, and then here's our holder piece that we use for it. Now we're going to take our hose connection, we're going to stick it into here, we're going to run the tube out through the slanted slot, and then you can just start wrapping this whole thing right around here. And this part goes nice and quick. When you come to it, we have a little slot here for the valve to sit into so it doesn't get in the way. All right, and then we just wrap the rest of the hose around, And then the springy part that holds everything in position, once you wrap that around, it keeps everything in place nice and tight on here. And there you go. So we're all wrapped up. Back on our holder. You could buy this piece by itself if you only have the hydro tail. And then this sits right back into the case like that. We throw our extra connection right in there. And then this is the extra connection that we have for the, if you wanted to connect it to a sink instead of a hose bib, that drops right in there as well. And then we have our 2 slots left to put away our Velcro straps. So with these, we're just going to fold them up. Okay, and then we can stick these in a larger spot. Then we have the smaller pieces of Velcro, which we did not use. Those go right back in the smaller spot. And bam, you are good to go with your hydro tail all put away, nice and neat. And don't forget our custom hydro tail latches, available at 10spottools.com.